Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. So, personal story, when I first was called to start to learn about the energy body, I really felt like I felt a lot of things happening to me, but I could never really understand what was happening and what the heck to do about it. You know, why do I feel super intense energies? Why do I feel overwhelmed? Why do I feel a lot of anxiety when I have to go into social situations? You know, there was just a lot of stuff happening because I felt sensitive to things and didn't really understand or have the languaging to really explain what was going on. And when I finally met a teacher that could really start to open my eyes and start to put a language structure on the things that I was feeling, it was incredible how everything changed. And I feel compelled, 16 years later to continue sharing this with people, just in a really simple and grounded way as to what can you do to have more, as I said before, agency over your life. So today I want to talk about a particular type of experience that you may have had in the past, I'm sure, when it feels like there's energies directed towards you that aren't necessarily of the highest order. Could be when we feel someone's angry with us. It could be when we feel someone's upset with us. We're not fulfilling their needs in a way they want. They're pulling on us, maybe energetically. Could be we've gone somewhere and maybe there's something attached to us because if we went to a yoga retreat or a ceremony or some sort of thing where people who have some sort of energetic or magical ability just maybe throw energy around and aren't quite conscious of what's happening. So it's just really important to know, okay, well, yeah, if that happens, what can I do? And what would that feel like if this has happened to you? It could feel like you're really tired a lot. It's really hard to get out of bed in the morning. Could be that your moods are really low. It could be that you go to bed and have dreams where you feel like you're being chased or feel like you're being attacked or under fire, or these sorts of things. It's like, okay, there's something here that I don't want to be here, so what do I do? So one of my favorite techniques that I use is what I call like a psychic diversion technique. And literally, if you imagine, we're like a sponge, and if we're taking heavy energy, we soak it up, soak it up, soak it up. It's like we have to squeeze the sponge and expel the energy to release it. Yeah. It's the same with emotions. That's why over time I use techniques to like rid myself and work on particular emotions, putting them into something so that I'm ridding them from my body. It's a way to like make space for something better. So it's an important technique. So for this one, I call it the psychic diversion, and you can do it for, say, 24 hours. Now, it's really interesting. This is a clean stone, so I've, put it in some salt water. You can wash them in the river as well, put them under the full moon kind of thing, depending on what type of crystal, and you can read lots of books for that sort of thing, to make sure that it's clean. And basically what I want to do is really ask this crystal to absorb all the psychic attacks that are being directed towards me for the next however long, 24 hours. So these are programmable, any kind of crystal. Of course, with love, I ask, please absorb all psychic attacks that are being directed towards me, to my family, or you could say towards me in my dreams, depending on, or towards me in a ceremony, wherever you're going. Please absorb these until I clean you. Simple. It's super simple. So what I would do with this crystal once I've done this program is I take it and I'm going to put it, and again, I use a black crystal. They seem to absorb the energy the most, so I would use like a hematite or an onyx or a tourmaline. And I get a bowl of salt, and this salt bowl has, maybe like a quarter of a cup of just plain table salt inside of it. And then I take the crystal and I place it in the salt, and then I'm going to pour water on top of it if the crystal is okay with that. So yeah, make sure you use one that can be in salty water. So I place it in the salt water and then basically just leave it for the next 24 hours. So it's going to continue, instead of energy being directed towards you, it's really going to absorb a lot of energy. So for people who work in toxic environments at work, this is another amazing tool to use. Just kind of hide it on your desk somewhere beside your workspace. And then after 24 hours, I'm going to take it, and I want to take the salt water, and you could imagine it's like excrement. So you want to literally pour it in the toilet bowl and just, I say thank you to the angels for transmuting this energy. you know, something like it's an honoring to say, yes, thank you so much for taking this energy and turning it into something else. So I put it in the toilet, I flush it, and then if you like, you clean the crystal again. So like I said, you can bury it in the ground, you can put it under the full moon, you can wash it in a river, you can put it back in clean salt water and just let it soak, you know, for another 24 hours, that sort of thing, to take the energies out. But it's amazing, you'll notice, when you pull it out of the salt and you actually pick it up, if you're energetically sensitive at all, you may notice that it feels really heavy in your hands. You may notice that your throat starts to feel really sticky, or like it almost feels like you're choking, or the belly might feel a little bit sick. And you'd be surprised because you think, oh, there's not that much energy being directed towards me. But even if you think nobody's directing energy towards you, it just is an experiment to try it and see what happens when you pick it up and you're like, oh my goodness. What we learn with the hand scanning is literally to say diseased and dirty energy in the crystal and take your hands towards it until you feel like a pushback. And it's interesting, as you get to the border of that energy when you're feeling it, again, I get that sensation in the throat of almost like feeling like I'm choking or that sort of thing. So I know that this really needs to be cleaned. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer. And thank you very much.